Hello, everyone. Good evening, and welcome to another live session at Speaker's Circle. I am your host for this event, and my name is Zaina Rafique. I am from Ahmedabad, Gujarat, India. And Speaker Circle is a platform where you can express, engage, and evolve. It's a community platform where, firstly, you can get in touch with people who wish to learn the same things as you, and our main focus lies in learning public speaking and communication skills. We have several activities across the month for our members as well as the people who are joining us, the people who are visitors, and this activity is one of them. Today we are going to have, as you can see, we are live and we are with some members of Speaker Circle. And members of Speaker Circle are really amazing people because they always have a lot to share about either their field of expertise, either about something that they feel, something that they know, or something which is completely out of the box and which is a remarkable idea that they want to put out in the world. So today we have four such incredible members who are with us here today. And if you are joining this live session, you can always stay in touch with us through the chat box, through the live chat box. So drop in your name, send a hi, and we'll know that you're watching. You can ask your questions to the speakers in the chat box. I will display it for them and then they can answer it for you. Today we are going to do something really amazing. Today we are going to be reviewing pieces of art which include movies and books. So why do you think we came up with this session? At work, let's say if I'm at work and my boss says tomorrow you have to send a report, you have to review whatever activity we have done in a month and you have to show it tomorrow in the meeting. Now I get confused. How to review it? I just have a bunch of data. Should I present it? No. There's always a better way of reviewing things. And through this activity, we are learning that. How can you review things? How can you have your own little brain think about a different perspective to look at things that are already existing out there? So, welcome to this book and movie review session with us, and thank you so much for joining us. So, Plato is a very important figure in critical theory, literary criticism, and socialism and things like that. So, Plato once said, "Twice and thrice over, as they say, good it is to repeat and review what is good." All right. And beginning with the book review session, I also came across an article yesterday which said books have the power to transport us to new worlds and different times, but they can also take us back to the important moment in our own lives. Meaning to say that books are a kind of reflection, and it's really good that you keep on reading books. So, beginning with the book review session, we have someone who is our first reviewer. He is from Ankleshwar. He has done Bachelor's of Engineering from Jawaharlal Nehru Engineering College. He works currently as a production manager, and he has been into the chemical manufacturing field for 27 years. Now, that's something. And he defines himself as someone who is a continuous learner and likes to do gardening and watching movies. I welcome Sanjay Chaudhary. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Zaina. Thank you very much. And hello, hi
Okay, so
everyone.
let's see what book you have to review, and I'm giving the stage over to you. Good.
Sure, thank you. Hello, hi everyone. So let me start with a lyrical verse from Kabira. जब हम पैदा हुए हम रोए जग हंसा कुछ ऐसा कर चल जब हम सारी दुनिया हंसे सारी दुनिया रोए हम हंसे. So this is a doha from Kabira, Kabir Das, Indian mystic poet and saint. So when you are born, you cried and the world rejoiced. Live your life in such a way that when you die, you world cries and you rejoice. So the tragedy of life is not in death, but in what you let die when you're still alive. So hi, hello everyone. Good evening. I'm Sanjay, and today I have opportunity to present before you the summary of a book, "Who Will Cry When You Die." So this is a book written by Canadian Indian author Robin Sharma, and it's a number one bestseller, and just 1.5 million books sold just in India, and million more across the globe. So Who Will Cry When You Die was published in 1999, and Robin Sharma is a international bestseller. He is a writer and a motivational speaker, and he has also written a famous book, "The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari." So Robin Sharma is a globally respected humanitarian. He is a celebrated leadership expert, advisor to business titans, and internationally bestseller author. So all too often, we believe that to live an orderly life, we need to accomplish something big, accomplish a great feat, and that will put us on front covers of magazines and newspapers. And also, we get millions of likes on Facebook and Twitter. But in reality, the meaningful life is made up of daily acts of decency and kindness. So, Who Will Cry When You Die is a series of lessons compiled together in a very engaging way, helping, and it has helped millions of readers to make their life more effective and transformative. And the readers have in turn helped transform lives of people who have crossed their paths. So it's a great reminder of how to take insignificant worries out of living and live a truly life that you love. So living in present now and here and focusing on what you can control and influence on is key, and rest is useless. So the fundamental questions that we need to ask ourselves: how many lives will you touch while you have privilege to walk on this planet? The second is, what impact will your life have on generations that follow you? And the third one is, what legacy will you leave behind? So these are the fundamental questions that we need to ask ourselves each day to make our life more meaningful. And these questions are answered in this book, Who Will Cry When You Die, through 101 commitments that one can make to oneself. These are very simple commitments and they are doable. We just need commitment and consistency to do it on a day to day basis. And through following these commitments, we can create a really positive impact on a future generation and we can make a long lasting contribution to the society. So, with this, let me go through few of these commitments, and I'm pretty sure at least some of you would get inspired to get a copy of this book and read it. So, let me share some of these commitments. The first one: so whenever you face any stressful situation, try to see it from a different perspective, from different angle. Because what you can control is you cannot control the situation, but you can definitely control your perspective. If we throw all our problems and pile them together and also see problems of others, I'm sure we'll grab back our own. The second is honest, be honest. Honest is the best policy that we have been hearing from our childhood days. But we all know we are not 100% honest. We can only be honest to others if we are honest to ourselves. So these are very simple commitments that we can make to ourselves and remind ourselves on daily basis. The third one is embrace the present. So as we all know, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, and that is why it is called present. So don't dwell into the past. Don't lose your present moment into past and future. Just be in present and try to enjoy the present moment without worrying much of past and future. Then fourth one is journaling your ideas. So journaling helps us to step back and reflect on ourselves, reduce our stress and anxiety. If our life is worth living, then it is worth writing. So try to journalize your ideas and thoughts and experiences each day, and that will certainly help you to reflect back and make improvements in your life. The sixth one is have a morning routine. So the way you begin your day defines your remainder of your day. So we should not just pass through our day as it comes, but we must launch our day with good preparation. Have a good plan, what you want to do each day, and then follow that plan. And again, every day we have to remind us of the three questions, the fundamental questions that we asked in the beginning. The seventh one is be kind. So imagine what this world would be if each one is kinder to each other, not just our near and dear ones. You never know what someone is going through. So be kind. You will never regret for being kind. The next one is laugh more. So laughter is the best medicine and the best exercise as we know. But do we really laugh enough? So find opportunities to laugh and not just laugh but also make others laugh. So as I've said, all these are very simple commitments that we can make to ourselves and doable, but what we need is a commitment to ourselves. Take holidays. So take out quality time for yourself and your near and dear ones. So on a lighter side, it is said that taking vacation is not a problem, but when to take, your boss decides, and where to take, your wife decides. Take risk. So definitely you have to take a risk in your life. Without risk you cannot succeed. So if you win you will be happy, and if you lose you'll still be wise, because you have learned something from that incident. So life is all about taking risk, and the biggest risk is not taking any risk. In the end, what we regret most are the chances that we never took. So have courage to take risk. The 10th one is take actions. The only impossible journey is the journey that you never began. So take action. Each step that you move forward will make get you closer to your final goal. And stop procrastinating. The 11th one is never hesitate to ask for help. For many, it is very hard to ask for help. But humble people ask for help, and asking for help is a courageous step. So do ask for help. Having someone help you doesn't mean that you have failed or you're not capable. It just means that you're not alone on the path. Have great friends. Yeah, so friend is another word for love. So the greatest gift of life is friendship. So make new friends. If you have if you don't have, and if you don't have many, and even if you have many of friends, the friends that whom you can call at 3 a.m. in the morning for any help. So have great friends in your life. So there are many such commitments that you can make to yourself, but I think I should let you know these commitments through reading this book. So, so I hope I have been able to do justice to this book review, and I also hope that I might have inspired some of you to take up this book and learn this wisdom, and then that has potential to transform your life. So we have to do this till we are alive. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Sanjay sir, for wonderful movie book review. I'm sorry, and you really did justice to the book. It's a really good book. I've heard that this book has inspired a lot of people, and people really love it. So I will definitely go and read it. I've not read much of Robin Sharma's book, but as you said, if you win, you'll be happy, and but if you lose, you will be wise. So that is something that has really caught me by the hook, and I'm sure that our viewers are also going to read this book. So thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule and giving this wonderful book review.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so that was a wonderful, wonderful book review by Sanjay sir. It was quite insightful. He covered the main points that the book presents, and I'm really sure that we will try to read this book. Let's not go anywhere because we have three more reviews with us today. So, just something about reviewing books, from building your vocabulary to reducing stress or from preventing age related cognitive decline or increasing your ability to empathize with the readers. Reading books is an easy way to look after your mind and body. It's the easiest way that you can connect with ideas that are there in the world. So we have someone else who is also going to be talking about his preferred book and why should we read it. So our next reviewer is someone who is from Bangalore. He is a student in 7th standard and he's quite sharp, and he likes to sing, read books obviously, and do photography. So he is going to be reviewing Front Desk by Kelly Yang. I welcome Samir. Hello
Hello,
Samir.
Samyak. Hello, ma'am, and this is Front Desk by Kelly Yang. So, ma'am, could you please bring my slideshow on screen?
Samir, you need to
Samyak, you
share
need to share.
your okay, so I believe there has been some technical error on Samyak's side, but that's completely okay. We'll give him some time to kind of adjust. Okay, so he's back. Hey
Hey,
Samyak, you're
Samyak, you're
back.
back. Really sorry, ma'am. There was a small glitch. I accidentally pressed Control W, and you know what happens when you do that. Okay, so I'll try share screen. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yes.
and over to you.
So thank you, ma'am, again for the very warm welcome. And immigrants, as you might know them, are often exploited in many countries. And people around the world also believe that they don't really fit into society. So this book is about one such young 10-year-old immigrant girl and her adventures in one such non-immigrant friendly country. So today I'll be reviewing the book Front Desk by award-winning author Kelly Yang. So before we jump right into the topic, let's know a bit about the author more. Kelly Yang was just a young girl when she settled in America from China. She would often shift cities because her parents worked at motels. And the thing was that in the US or America, you might know that people tend to keep their lives a secret from other kids. But the only place she found peace was at the library. She was attracted. There was some force between her and the books. And that immersed Kelly in a strange and a new world where she could be free from all these motelish burdens. And then she did a surprising thing. She entered university at just the age of 13 and graduated from UC Berkeley and the Harvard Law School. Later in life, she went on to become a lawyer, a world famous one. But then she thought that, I think I need to follow my passion and write books. So then she wrote Front Desk, which was published in 2018. And the book won so many awards. I can't even name them. So I just took a screenshot from the website. Look at this. These are all the awards won by this book. And the most notable one here is the Asia Pacific American Award for Literature. So first of all, this book is set in the 1990-2000 time and in California, specifically the Cala Vista Motel. So the first character and the main one is Mia, who is a 10-year-old girl who lives and works at the Cala Vista Motel. Every day she manages the front desk of the motel while her parents clean the rooms. Now she is quite proud of her job and good at it too. She loves all the guests and treats them like their family. Mia aspires to become a writer when she grows up. Now the thing is that she has to face many problems in the motel with the miserly owner and the strange occurrences that take place. This character somewhat represents Kelly Yang and the struggles of her life. The next is Mr. Yao, who is the owner of the Cala Vista. He's the boss of all of them. He's ruthless and mean. He always keeps changing the terms and docking their salaries whenever something goes wrong. Mr. and Mrs. Tang were Mia's parents. Every day they would clean the rooms and Mia takes care of the front desk, and both work extremely hard. And even though the hours are long and it's difficult to sleep, because in hotels people keep checking in throughout the day and then throughout the night, but still they persist, they work hard in order to provide and persist for the family. Jason, as you can see, he's a Yao again, and he looks like his father. So he is Yao's son and also Mia's classmate. He sits right next to her, and like his dad, he can be very, very cruel. But as the school year just normally progresses, he and Mia spend more time together and eventually become friends. Hank Caleb, he's one of the weekly residents, and he is not just a weekly resident. He is Mia's friend, mentor and confidante. He is a warm and a kind-hearted man, and he helps Mia navigate the front desk. Now, front desk customers, a tricky combination, I would say. He works as a security guard at the local mall. Loop is Mia's best friend. She is the daughter of cable man Jose Garcia, who works for Mr. Yao at the Cala Vista. Contrary to that, she says that at the beginning of the year, she says, I live in a big house with 2 dogs and a big trampoline. But later they realize that Mia lives in a motel and she lives, well, in a trailer, and they have a lot in common. They bond over the fact that they're stuck on a bad roller coaster, which is poverty and immigration. Now, enough with the characters and all of that. Let's move on to a short synopsis of the book. So this is the book cover. Now, this is the front desk of the Calavista. You can see Mia right here, and she's talking to a customer over the phone. Then this is the front desk, written just like that, and then we have a tip jar somewhere over the side to make some savings, and then we have a cap, which you will see has a very important role, a keyboard at the back, a calendar, an unlock clock, and we have at the top that small symbol which says checkout at 11 a.m. Okay, amazing. Let's move on. So Mia was originally from China. She left behind all of her cousins and friends and went to America, hoping that they'd have a great life there with a big house and cute dogs and a swimming pool and all of that. But she turned out to be wrong. It was the precise opposite. Her parents told her that America would be more free, but she didn't understand it in that sense. Their parents meant to escape the communism and the dictatorship-like government. But then they went to America with something unimaginable. $200 in their pocket. They had to live in a crammed car for 6 months and they didn't even have a job. But then they found a newspaper article which is written, Mr. Yao wants some people to work at his motel, and they readily agreed. Then when they go to California, they meet, or at least Mia meets Jason, the son of Mr. Yao, and hates him at first sight. He is just as cruel as his father, looks exactly like him, and shows off a lot. And as always, you're a kid, you have to go to school. So she also joins a new school. She feels, everyone feels insecure for the first time because the only reason was that she's Chinese and doesn't know native English. But then she reads books at the huge school library and loves them with her heart and soul. After reading all of these books, she learns that I want to be a writer. I want to create stories that inspire and change people's lives. However, she doesn't have the support of her family. Her mother says that she's good at maths. She should work on that. But Mia, nope, I want to become a writer. And Mia also meets Loop, and they both become best friends and confidantes. And you also know the exact reason why Mia became Loop's friend. So then there was this small shenanigan in which Mia wore the clothes of a girl who forgot her clothes at the motel and went away. Now Mia is excited that, wow, I get to wear my first set of new clothes. But then the girl returns, complains to Mr. Yao, and the Tangs get into a lot of trouble. Then Mia gets a very, I would say, dangerous news. Mr. Yao is putting up the motel for sale. And Mia is desperate to know what will happen. Because if you're a tenant, then usually if the owner is selling their house, then you have that tingling feeling inside you that, will my owner be good? Will he help me out? Or will he kick me out? And then that very moment you open up your laptop and start searching for a new house. So that type of thoughts come into Mia's head. And she also wants to know who he's selling it to. Because, if they had a bad owner, then all of them would be in trouble. A lot of trouble. Finally, Mia uses her logic and kid power to do something which even Mr. Yao couldn't imagine. Even in his wildest dreams. And this is the story of Mia. Now, I think you should read on to find out what happens. But yet, I'm going to give a small conclusion. Often, I think the world is quite unfair. Some people go up the pyramid, others go straight down. This book is all about the struggles of a young immigrant girl and the story of someone who has big dreams, even though everyone around her thinks that she's, just a normal kid. But many people don't believe Mia because They think that she's a kid, but she has a lot of potential. Mia understood that the problems faced by her parents, she understood the pain they were going through. Mia also loves to learn, so she learns a lot from the library, from Hank, from Luke, from her parents, and she learns that her parents sacrifice a lot for her, and she learns that she is capable for greatness. And finally, Mia works her magic and goes to achieve the unachievable. This book, according to me, is quite inspiring for teens and tweens because it resembles the struggles that everyone has to go through. It shows these children who are studying in the board exams or children who are giving some exam or ITJE exams or anything. It shows them we are not alone. If you have the power to dream, then you also have the very power to achieve it. And then this book to me is quite special because it's on social justice. The Tang family, they just immigrated from China. Hence, they are discriminated against by American people. Again, the amount of melanin in one's skin doesn't determine his or her place in society. This doesn't make discrimination right. Sometimes, oppressed people oppress others. And this is the psychology of bullying. Powerful people apply their pressure on normal people. And this is not really the correct or the ethical thing to do. And many a times, there are different laws for different people which goes straight against the law of equality. Finally, poverty. Now, poverty is just the case in which one doesn't have enough money to make ends meet. Like Mia. Now, Mia doesn't have money to get herself new clothes. She has to buy second-hand ones from rat pickers. She doesn't even have enough money to buy herself a new pen. She has to go to the junkyard, collect metal, send it for recycling, and get that $8 through which she can get a new pen. This book shows the struggles that these underprivileged people have to go through in life. And I believe that this is all I have to say about this book. Thank you.
Wonderful, Samyak. I could say that. Thank you so much for. Hold on. Thank you so much for reviewing this book today, Samyak. I believe that this is, very much kind of reflecting the recent scenario that the youth of our country is going through, and the issue of brain drain that is there. People rush there only to realize that the lifestyle is not, sunshine and rainbows. And the best part about your book review was the not so friendly immigrant country. So it was absolutely amazing.
Thank you, ma'am. And actually, this is again one thing which has recently originated corona discrimination, which is like Chinese people, they didn't even do anything.
It's called
A whole third party is to blame, but people are discriminating against every Chinese they see, which is again not right. So again, a Kelly Yang book has been released. I would suggest that you can see that too. It is about, her children. So, yeah.
Okay, wonderful. So that was Samyak, everyone, and Samyak, like always, was having a really good perspective to share. We do not delve much into the political scenarios, but yes, these are the social issues which are prevalent out there in almost every art form, and they need to be portrayed in some way or the other. So again, we are not highlighting any kind of political thing that is prevalent, but just saying that this is what the people go through at a personal level. And I really think that you all should go and read this book, because the people who have gone abroad to study, the people who are going out of their way to find some better lifestyle somewhere out else in the world. So I think this would relate to them very much. With this, I think we are done with the book review session. Let's move on to movies. Everybody likes movies. I also have a set of movies that I absolutely love, and I'm very sure that's the same case with you all. So today we are going to have two members who are going to review the movies of their choice, and they will also tell us what's the best part of this particular movie and why should we watch it. So our first member is someone who is from Pune. She has done BA LLB from Pune University. She is working as a freelance trainer. She has been in the education field for over 15 years. She likes to do yoga and play golf. I welcome Anjali Sanghvi. Hello, ma'am.
Hi, Zaina. Thank you so much for this wonderful introduction. Happy
Right,
to
ma'am.
be
Over
here.
to
Extremely happy to be here. And thank you, viewers, for coming on to our show. Hi, I'm Anjali Sanghvi, and I'm going to review a movie known as Panch Rupaiya. And the director of this movie is a person known as Piyush Panjwani. And the actors, there are two main protagonists. One is a grandmother, she is Amina, and she has a grandchild, and the grandchild is 4 years old, and his name is Hamid. Now, this book, the title and the songs of this book were written by Javed Akhtar. Amina was played by Shabana Azmi, and the little boy Hamid, he was, and he's a grown-up boy now, Johan Panjwani. The book is based on a story written by Munshi Premchand. So I didn't want to reveal the name of the book because I wanted that the viewers might try to guess it. Munshi Premchand, he wrote at a time that was pre-independence India. The social fabric of the people was so strong in those days. There were no boundaries. People worked together. They wanted to aspire and they wanted to come together for a common cause. Now, what happened in history, we are not here to say whether it was right or wrong, but the country as a whole got united. Now, he was born, Munshi Premchand was born 31st of July 1880, and most of his books were written in the early 1900s. He is one of the greatest Indian writers in history. He wrote in Hindi and in Urdu. After his death, Khushwant Singh. Now, Khushwant Singh, he is in living memory. He translated this book. The other works of Munshi Premchand. Now, Munshi ji, he used to write under a literary name called Nawab Rai. The other works which were made into movies, more than 10 of them. One is called Karma Bhumi, Gaban, Godan, Sadgati, Thakur Ka Kuan, Do Bailon Ki Kahani, and the most famous one was Shatranj Ke Khiladi. Now, as we know, this story is about Amina. Her son and his wife, they get killed by cholera, and her grandson comes to stay with her. Now, she is very, very poor. This has been portrayed in the movie by Shabana Azmi, who's such a powerful, gifted actress. Now, there was a time when she started first time acting in movies, so the craft she developed on her own, and so well she has brought out human emotions. So she loved her grandson, Hamid, and she took care of him like a mother. She saw that no stone was left unturned in his upbringing. Values. She taught him how to be a good human being. And this little child of 4 years, he absorbed everything. So the story goes that it is the day of Eid, and it was such a beautiful day. The sun was shining on the people of the earth as if the sun was blessing them. So Hamid and his gang of boys, little boys from the age of 4 years to the age of 11, they decided to go for the prayers, and they went to a mosque which was about 3 miles away. Now, on the premises of the mosque, there was a fair. In those days, and even today, we call it a mela. And as we know, there are so many attractions for children. Now, these children, they were talking on the way there. Hamid had only 3 pies. Most of his friends had 12 to 15 pies. So they were rich. Now, children, they don't want to hurt each other. But intrinsically, people want to control. They want to show off. So they would tell him on the way there that, what are you going to buy? You've got only 3 pies. But he had self respect, even at that young age of 4 years. And then they passed a lot of these huge colleges and law courts and clubs where the British people used to meet. And when they reached the mosque, They saw millions of people. People came from other villages and towns in cars and tongas, and then everyone in unison they sat down for prayers. It was such a beautiful moment. The earth was caught up in the lovely chants of the prayers. And then the prayers got over, and everybody wished each other Eid Mubarak, and the children rushed. They rushed to the fair. Now the other boys, his friends, they went on the merry-go-rounds, they went on the rides. They said, Hamid, come, spend a little bit of your money. But he refused. Now there was a reason why he didn't want to spend that 3 pice at that time on himself. So he was sacrificing. But he never thought of it that way. And then the children, they went to eat. So Hamid went with them, but he didn't eat anything. And children being children, one of his friends, Mohammed, he said, come, 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 Hamid, I'm going to give you a gulab jamun. And he got a gulab jamun in his hand. He gave it to Hamid. And Hamid was actually reluctant, but when he reached out to get it, and then Mohammed put it in his own mouth. So Hamid, he learnt a lesson. He realized that his friends are there teasing him, making him feel bad. But he refused to lose his composure. And after that, the friends went to a toy shop. There was a toy shop where there were lots of little beautiful dolls made out of clay. So one of them bought a water carrier, one of them bought a policeman, and one of them he bought a lawyer. And Hamid wandered off. He went to an ironmonger's shop and he saw a pair of tongs, and we call them chimta. And he asked the ironmonger, how much do these cost? So the shopkeeper said they cost 6 pice. Hamid, he wanted to explore this wonderful Indian habit of bargaining, which we enjoy, all of us, to this day. He told the shopkeeper, please tell me the right price. So the shopkeeper said, 5 paise. So Hamid started walking off. He said, I'll give you 3 paise. So the shopkeeper said, okay, sure, you can have them. So he bought that pair of tongs. And why did he buy them? Because his granny Amina, when she used to make rotis, baked bread, for Hamid, she used to burn her fingers every day. He couldn't bear it. He couldn't bear to see her burning her fingers like that. So he came upon that pair of tongs and he bought them. And when he went back to his friends, they laughed at him. They said that, what are you going to do with these tongs? But the way he explains to them that these clay toys are going to break, nobody is going to bless you for getting these toys. And my grandmother will bless me because I've got something for her. And sure enough, on the way back, there is a huge argument because they feel that Hamid is trying to get the upper hand with very intelligent conversation. But that's exactly what happened. When they reached the village, Mohammed, who had brought the water carrier, when he reached home, his sister came running out of the door and she grabbed that toy out of his hand. There was a scuffle and a fight, and that toy fell to the ground, and forevermore it went to heaven. And the second person, who had a lawyer, I think his name was Sami, he put that lawyer on top of the wall with a little pedestal. And then he got a bamboo fan to fan that lawyer. By mistake, that fan hit the lawyer fell on the ground, the toy, and of course, he didn't know any legal language and he didn't find any cases. He was a toy and he too was dumped in the garbage heap. The policeman, what did he do? The toy. Mohsin, the boy used to carry him up and down his house in the dark and he used to scream out, Jate raho, because that's what the policeman said in those days. And the boys had discussed. The boys used to call each other Janab. They had discussed that the police were very corrupt. But one day, Mohsin hit his leg against one stone and the policeman lost one leg. And in time to come, the toy disintegrated. So the tongs came to be known as Rustam-e-Hind, that is the champion of India. And what happened to our little hero when he went home? He was only 4 years old. His granny came running to the gate And she said, Hamid, you're so late. I was waiting for you. You haven't eaten anything. And so he went in. She kissed him. She picked him up. He was only a little boy. And then she saw the tongs. And she said, where did you get those tongs from? So Hamid said, I bought them. She said, how much did you pay for them? So he said, 3 pice. So on the first reaction, Amina said, you stupid boy, why did you spend your money on these tongs? What use are they? So very quietly, Hamid, without crying or anything, he said, Granny, when you make chapatis for me, rotis for me, every meal you burn your hands. So I brought these tongs for you. Now, there was such a transformation within Amina, which has been shown so beautifully in this movie Panch Rupaya. And what happened? The grown up lady Amina became a little girl. She fell to the ground and she cried and cried and cried her heart out. And she put her hands out and asked for dua for her grandchild. She said, may God bless him, may Allah bless him, and he grows up to a righteous human being. And at that moment, Hamid became the adult. He was the man who was trying to control Amina, his granny, not to cry. He was holding her shoulders and he was supporting her that it's okay. Now, this story, why did it appeal to me so much? Because it talks about human values. Now, almost 100 years ago, Munshi Premchand he wrote about emotions. They transcend human limitations, and to this day they are relevant. Love makes the world go round. It can wrought miracles. It can inspire people. Sacrifice, filial devotion, and also being able to stand up for yourself when people are treating you badly. And also, I must say that I had chosen this story when I was teaching speech and drama at a school in Pune, St. Anne's School, and the examiner comes from Britain. He comes from the London Academy of Music and the Dramatic Arts. And my students, they performed this play, and needless to say, they got very high distinction and marks. So it has been dramatized, it has been picturized. The whole story talks about casteism, not just this story, but all of Munshi Premchand's works. They talk about simple people. So this fair is from a fair in Gorakhpur, somewhere in 1928, 1933. And to this day, we enjoy fairs so much. So human emotions is what makes the world go round. And then the other thing is that when children they just absorb, they look at adults and they absorb. So if there is a person around them who loves them unconditionally, selflessly, that's what they become. And if a child can love, he can change the whole community. So Hamid, he picked up only good values from his grandmother. A child can regenerate. Regenerate means he can change people. He can make people inspired, motivate them. If he can do that, and that is what the author wanted to say. Now, our director, he said that a director doesn't choose the story, but the story chooses him. He was so overwhelmed by it, he told his mother to read it and narrate it to him as she used to do when he was a little boy. Now, on a rating of 1 to 10, I would give this story 10 marks. So I'm going to ask the viewers to put in the name of the story by Munshi Premchand, and the movie is called Five Rupaya. So thank you so much for a very patient hearing, and I hope to have your comments in the chat box. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am, for the same. Due to lack of time, we will share the movies actually on YouTube, and I saw it. I'll share the link in the comment box, and then people
Oh,
can go and view it at their pace. So thank you so
okay,
much,
good.
ma'am, for giving a lovely review. Thank you so much for being here.
No, no problem. Thank you.
Okay, that was Anjali Sanghvi, and I know we all had the story of Eidgah in I think our 8th standard Hindi textbooks, and we loved it. So there's an actual movie about it. If you have a younger sibling or a younger friend and you want them to watch the movie, I'll just share the link of the movie in a while now in the chat box, and then you can view it. Our next movie reviewer is somebody who's also from Ahmedabad. She has studied from ICAI. She works as an assistant manager for AJ Jain and Company, and she likes to play cricket, travel, and read. Hello, Vishwa. Good evening.
Hi, good evening.
So, are you ready for reviewing a very nice movie?
Yes.
Okay, Vishwa is all set. Over to you, Vishwa.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you for being here. The movie I want to talk about today was released back in 2013. The genre was comedy drama. Directed by Vikas Bair, produced by Anurag Kashyap, Vikramaditya Motowala, and Madhu Montana. Their music was given by Amit Trivedi. This film has won so many awards: Best Actress, Best Film, Best Movie, Best Supporting Actress, and many more. Best Cinematography, Best Editing. This is none other than Kangana Ranaut's Queen. Leading role Kangana Ranaut, supported by Lisa Hayden and Rajkumar Rao. The movie starts when Kangana Ranaut, Rani Mehra, is a 24-year-old girl living in Delhi, a Punjabi girl, who was about to get married next day to her love, Vijay Dhingra. Everybody was happy, there was music in the house, people were dancing on the track which is literally used in almost all the Indian weddings these days, that is London to Makka. They were very happy. Little did they know of what was coming next. Vijay calls up Rani to meet, and when they meet, Vijay tells her that he is no longer interested in Rani. He explains that his lifestyle has changed after living abroad, and Rani's conservative habits would be a wrong match for him. Stunned at this development, Rani shuts herself in her room for a day, recalling her and Vijay's story and how they met and fell in love. Wanting to control the situation, she asks her parents' permission to go alone on her pre booked honeymoon to Paris and Amsterdam. Initially hesitated, but later on her parents agreed, thinking that a vacation might cheer her up because she was literally let down by Vijay. So she went to Paris, where she was so scared that she used to forget her things at the hotel. She didn't know what to do, where to go. Even by using a map, she would fail to find her destination. But over there, Rani met Vijay Lakshmi, Lisa Hayden, played by Lisa Hayden, a free-spirited woman of French, Spanish, Indian descent who works at a hotel where Rani stays. Overwhelmed by the new city and having gotten into trouble twice, Rani intends to return to India. However, Vijay Lakshmi helps her out and gives her a tour around the city. The two have a series of adventures during which Rani relives the memories of Vijay, patronizing her and forbidding her from dancing and drinking, which she was free to do in Paris. She enjoys herself in Paris with the help of Vijay Lakshmi. During a particular incident, Rani wears a particular outfit, and instead of sharing the image to Vijay Lakshmi, she shares that image to Vijay, her fiance. Intrigued by that image, Vijay started gaining interest in Rani again. However, it was too late to realize. Or Rani had a very good time with Vijay Lakshmi in Paris, and then came a time to bid farewell to her. She left for Amsterdam in a train, bidding good farewell to Vijay Lakshmi. Over there, Rani was again in trouble. She got a room in a hostel where she had to stay with three boys. Taka from Japan, Tim from France, and Alexander from Russia. Despite being spectacle, she soon becomes good friends with them, and she spends time with them shopping, sightseeing, going to a church, going to clubs, etc. She got to know about their lives. All of them being from different places of the world became very good friends. Everybody has a past, and all of them had one too. Over there, Rani also got opportunities to explore herself. She knew that she could be a very good cook, and one day she got a chance to present herself in a cooking competition where she made golgappas and sold them in that foreign country. And guess what? She earned a lot, and that made her gain her confidence. She started taking her own decisions without anybody else dominating her. She had the liberty to choose what she could do, which gave her so much confidence that she literally did a business in a foreign country and earned some money from there. She gained so much of love from those three guys in Amsterdam that she was really, really grateful to meet them. Again, Vijay entered her life. He went there, tried to meet her over there, and thought that Rani would again go for him. However, Rani told him that she will meet him again when she returns back to Delhi and not right now. So Rani left him and went with her friends to a rock concert. Over there, she enjoyed. She was not a person who would go to rock concerts, but yes, she wanted to be with her friends because it was their last day in Amsterdam together. She bid Vijay farewell and left for the rock concert, and yes, she had fun with her friends. She was so happy to see them, and they were so happy to see her over there because they didn't expect her to meet them because they knew that she was going to meet Vijay. The best thing about Amsterdam was that in the room where they stayed, there was a wall where people used to post memories or something that they would like to leave forever. And yes, that was the time when Rani realized that it was her time to get over with what happened with Vijay. She took out a wedding card of Rani Weds Vijay and posted it on that wall, keeping all the memories of Vijay aside. Back in Delhi, Rani Rani visits Vijay at his home after returning from Amsterdam. Vijay and his family think that she has decided to forgive him and start discussing the wedding plans. Instead, Rani hands Vijay her engagement ring and says that, "Thank you," probably suggesting that he gave her the opportunity to explore the world and develop herself by rejecting her. And it did her good, highlighted her grandma's words earlier in the movie on how things occur for better. She walks away with confidence and smile on her face, and that's where the movie ends. Now, what I like so much about this movie? Number one, that not everything that not all that glitters is gold. She found everything about Vijay to be good, but what happened? He changed when he went abroad. Other thing is that if we meet bad people at first, doesn't mean that we will not be meeting good people. She went to Paris and over there she met Vijay Lakshmi. Vijay Lakshmi didn't even knew her. Still she supported her in everything. Rani was keen to come back to India, but Vijay Lakshmi helped her survive at that place, at an unknown place, and they became so good friends. Then there were those three guys, Taka, Tim, and Alexander. Three guys and one girl in the room. Yet they were so good to her that she became quite comfortable with them. It's all about respect. She became so good friends with them that she literally left Vijay aside just to have the last final moments with those guys. It's such a light-hearted thing and a very good thing when all the people from different corners of the world shared what happened with them. That everyone are keen to help each other get over it. Rani learned that Taka, Japanese guy, had lost his parents. They all went to the church. They were so sympathetic to him that he didn't even miss his parents more. They also helped Rani get over Vijay by suggesting that she was really good by her own. I also love one more thing about this film, and that is the music. London to Makkah song has just become, the fixed thing in a wedding. कि संगीत में ये गाना तो बजना ही चाहिए वरना संगीत नहीं कहलाता and everybody dances on that. This film was a breakthrough for Kangana Ranaut. Not that it was her first film, but she was loved by everyone. This film is also better because it portrays the problems faced by people. And
Yes, Vishwa, you can continue.
am I
Hello.
audible and visible?
Yes, yes, you're very much audible and visible. You can continue speaking.
Okay. One more thing I like about this film is that it portrays that a woman, even if she is alone, she will make mistakes at first, but gradually she will learn and she can literally be independent and she doesn't need anybody to help her through everything. She can get over it. Okay. Queen
Wonderful,
is cited
Vishwa.
as a groundbreaking and an influential feminist film by many scholars. Over the years, the film has built a strong cult following. It was named as one of the best films of the decade, that is the 2000s, by multiple publications. So I would request you to watch this film if you haven't. Thank you.
Sorry to interrupt you before. I believe there was a technical glitch, but you were really amazing, Vishwa. Thank you so much for your wonderful review. And Queen definitely is an unconventional movie. I've watched it, and I just like to share a quotation by Richard Moore that sets very well with this movie. That a good movie makes the audience feel like they have journeyed with the characters, so we could actually feel that what Rani is going through or the main protagonist is going through. And you covered all the aspects really beautifully, and that's how a review should be given. Thank you so much, Vishwash, for joining us today. Okay, that was Vishwa Shah, everyone, and I think we are done with the reviews. Thank you so much for watching. We talked about books, we talked about movies, so why don't you go ahead and actually read or watch whatever our members have shared? Note that we have an offline meeting this Sunday in Ahmedabad. You can go to the link in the description and join us on WhatsApp, where we will share the details with you. Or even if you wish to be a part of community, you can fill up the same Google form to get notified about our regularly occurring online meetings and several other activities that we do. On this YouTube channel, you will find videos of various speakers. You will find many such live sessions as these. So kindly subscribe, and we also share public speaking tips with you. So if you wish to learn more about public speaking, if you wish to learn certain tricks and techniques that will help you become a good speaker, consider subscribing. So this is your host Zaina Rafique signing off from Speaker Circle. A very, very good evening